about it.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
Today on DNVR Buffs Live, we give our top transfer portal targets, and Jake is alleging that there has been a trade in college football, and I don't know what he's talking about. Let's find out. Let's go.
Squad. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. It's DNVR Buffs Live. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
I got to nip something in the bud right out the gate.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go.
Gerardo Ramos talking about shout out Scotty from Schwanitz, and that's just not a narrative I'm going to let allowed to live. And there was a comment yesterday on the show. There was actually two different comments on the show yesterday post show. One of them was like, when you were showing our custom Air Force Ones, and somebody was like, yeah, like G Fazo was like, that made the Chicago enemy smile. Somebody commented that.
Yeah, they said,
and then somebody what?
They said you can take him out the rack, but you can't take the rack out of him.
Period. Fire comment. Somebody else goes, though, is Scotty really from Schaumburg or is he from Chicago? And I don't know if this is the same Gerardo Ramos who asked this question, but I am from Chicago, the south side of the city. The Schaumburg is so disrespectful. And you know
Where's
that.
Schaumburg?
Bro, like an hour outside the city, bro. Like the definition of the burbs. So
that's funny. I believe it's pronounced Gerardo.
Gerard. Okay, I can see that.
I got to call everyone out on their pronunciations around here.
Hey, drop a comment. Drop the pronunciation of your name, Gerardo or Gerardo. I want to see something.
I do have. It feels really common in Chicago to say you're from Chicago when you're not.
Oh, it's very common. And it's frustrating as well.
The worst one to me, though, is when someone says they're from the Bay Area. That's like a damn near an entire state.
Yeah.
You guys are insane.
I'm like, just tell me the city. I'm pretty familiar. Like,
facts.
Most of them are well-known names.
For sure. Like, just don't lie to me. You ain't got to send me off. If you're from Schaumburg, say you're from Schaumburg. There's nothing wrong with that. Because when I ask, like, oh, where in Chicago are you from? And you say Schaumburg, now I'm pissed.
Yep.
Because you
so
lied
you gotta
to me.
lie.
Right.
You gotta keep the lie going.
For
like,
real.
oh, I'm from Central, whatever.
Facts, Gerardo. Everybody drop in the comments in the chat today what city you watching this from. I want to see some.
Let's go.
Today on the show, yes, the first trade in college football history. We'll get to that.
Okay.
You really have no idea?
No.
Bro, you were right, bro. Gerardo. Yeah. Well, okay. My bad.
Talk about Joesph Williams. The latest NFL draft news. The Titans say they know who they're picking at 1, but the Browns and Giants are fielding calls. It's getting interesting. 2 days out from the
Broncos.
draft.
That's Sean Payton's music.
Let's hope. A couple portal entries from the Buffs, but we'll start today talking about the available players in the transfer portal. A list of guys who, at least I've singled out as guys I think Colorado really should target, and potentially the most important target that they have available at their options. Do you have a list?
I mean, I got a few names for sure.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear yours, though.
A few names for sure.
So with that, I'm assuming I'm starting then.
I can start if you want me to.
There's 2 linebackers in the portal right now who I'm very interested in.
You talk about one, I'll talk about the other.
Which one are you talking about?
I would pick the whichever one you don't want.
Okay.
I'll take the third.
This one just came out today, though. North Carolina linebacker Amari Campbell has entered the portal. Had 76 total tackles this year, 11 tackles for a loss, 6.5 sacks, 2 passes defensed, and 1 forced fumble. We'll talk about the Virginia Tech linebacker at the end of this segment, but Amari Campbell immediately becomes one of, if not the best linebackers in the transfer portal. It was this time last year that the Buffs added Nikhai Hill-Green, who basically ended up changing the trajectory of their entire defense.
No doubt.
Amari Campbell has been a very productive player for North Carolina. He is a sophomore, true sophomore, I believe, coming in last year in 2023. Listed at 6 foot, 230 pounds. Ooh. I just think that we're searching for answers at linebacker at this point. We had the 2 transfers starting in the spring game.
Yeah.
But I think there's another level we can get to at that position. We saw it last year.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of going to set the stage for what they're going to look for at that position, because obviously it's a position of need. It's something that Coach Prime told us this weekend, a position that he wants to add to, excuse me, in the spring transfer portal. And the fact that you were able to get a really, really talented and impactful linebacker, this time last year in the spring transfer portal in Nikhai Hill-Green, from a school like Charlotte, who balled out here in 2024 for Colorado, is now in the SEC at Alabama. I think that gives this recruiting staff confidence that you can find a really impactful, defender at that linebacker position, because, like I said, it's a priority target position for this team at this point. Another linebacker, though, that they should definitely be in on, it's Harrison Taggart, a guy that we talked about briefly yesterday. From BYU. 6'1", 235 pounds, had 69 tackles this past year, a sack, a forced fumble recovery, couple pass deflections, and an interception. He actually sacked Shedeur in the Alamo Bowl, back in December and whatnot. And obviously that BYU defense was just flying all around that day. It was really dominant. So Taggart was kind of in the middle of that. Again, an experienced, a productive guy who would be a great add. And yesterday, Keelan Marion, who we talked a lot about yesterday, the receiver, kick returner from BYU, who's in the portal, who I believe has a visit set up here soon to Colorado. He actually retweeted one of Taggart's tweet yesterday, like, where we going, twin? Like, where we at? You know what I'm saying? So if those two are a package deal, that's a deal that this recruiting staff has to get in on.
Yeah, I mean, I love the BYU linebacker. I would take damn near anyone who played on that defense last year.
Swear.
Yep.
Swear.
But I felt like, was a difference maker for them in the middle.
For sure.
And when you watched BYU games, it just felt like their linebackers were controlling the football game, especially when they were playing well. Are we moving on here, just naming off names?
Yeah. I've got 4 more names I'm going to mention.
All right, this was one we mentioned yesterday, but bears mentioning again, AJ Halsey.
Yep, he's on my list as well.
Safety out of Houston. All Big 12 player. I mean, you could go on and on about this kid.
5 picks last year, I think, from the safety position. That's crazy.
Yep. And their defense was actually pretty respectable as well.
It was.
There's enough players at safety for Colorado to where I wouldn't say the position is a need.
Yeah.
AJ Halsey is just above and beyond need. It's just, if you could get him, you take him.
No doubt.
There's certain players of that level that it doesn't matter how many guys you already have at that position.
Yeah, extremely productive player. Started his career as a 2022 3-star recruit out of Texas. Actually began and started at New Mexico, but as a true freshman there, had 87 total tackles, 3 TFLs, 2 interceptions. Then goes to Houston. Over the last 2 years at Houston, 172 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 5 picks, 12 passes defensed, 1 forced fumble. I mean, there's nothing more to say at that point.
Playmaker.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Day 1 starter wherever he lands up.
For
Hopefully
sure.
it's in Boulder, Colorado.
Yep. Next guy I want to talk about, I think we've mentioned him before around when the portal opened. The Buffs played against him last year. That's former North Dakota State running back Shamar Brown. Last year had a fantastic year, 244 rushing attempts for 1,181 yards, 15 touchdowns. Only had 6 receptions in the receiving game, but listed at 5'11", 214. There hasn't been much interest shown either way from between Colorado and him. He's actually visiting Nebraska on Thursday, but
Got to question his decision-making ability.
he's from Omaha. But one of, if not the most productive available running back in the portal at this point, Javian Thomas, the guy who we talked a lot about yesterday, I think On3 and 247 both have him as the number one back, and then Shamar Brown not far behind and in the like 2 or 3 spot.
Interesting.
Coach Prime said he wanted to add 2 more.
Yeah.
Why not go get 2 of the best out there? If you're going to get Javian Thomas on campus today, hopefully you get a commitment here in the next, 48 hours or so.
Yeah.
Go after Shamar Brown as well, I say.
Those would be 2 great ads. I mean, I think Javian Thomas is a real need, a real hashtag need. But Shamar Brown would be, I don't want to call it a consolation prize, but because he's a really good player in his own right. I think he would be a great fit for, I think, the identity this offense kind of wants here in 2025, kind of more of a downhill, I don't want to say run first, but as close to 50-50 run pass split as you can probably get, here in 2025. So both of those guys would be great ads. I'm going to go offensive line, somebody who we know the Buffs are in on, and that's Blake Steen, the transfer right tackle from Virginia, who has started 17 career games, played over 1,200 career snaps, 6'5", 330, and he has NFL pedigree, right? His older brother just won a Super Bowl championship with the Philadelphia Eagles, Tyler Steen. So Blake Steen, again, experience, productive, and it's a position of need. If you can come in, you get him, he's locked in at right tackle, which allows Xavier Hill to, move over to, left guard. And if that's the case, in my opinion, you have 4 really, really good, dominant, if you will, offensive linemen between Seat, Hill, Zy Chrysler, and Blake Steen potentially. So Blake
Huge,
Steen,
by the way.
and massive, massive fellas.
Yeah.
I feel like me or Jay could play center with those other 4 guys, on this side of us. So Blake Steen would be a great add and somebody who is a hashtag need.
I got another tackle. Big our guy T-Cal, massive fan of him. Malachi Carney out of South Alabama. He's only allowed 2 sacks over the last 2 years. I think T-Cal has him ranked as like his top tackle or whatever in the portal. But yeah, 2 sacks and nearly 1,200 snaps over the last 2 seasons. Plays right tackle, listed at 6'4", 312 pounds. He's a redshirt junior. Yeah, I mean, they had a 1,000-yard rusher last year at South Alabama. Offensive line only gave up 2.3 sacks per game. They finished 3rd in the Sun Belt in total offense. I
was going to say their offense, I think, in general was pretty good, right? Didn't their quarterback was the one who just committed to North Carolina, I believe? Yeah. Gio Lopez, I think.
I think you're right, yeah.
So, yeah, they had a really good offense, and so I'd be in on that tackle for sure.
Yeah, Colorado was trying to get one of the running backs, too, before he withdrew.
Right.
True.
Yep.
South Alabama Jaguars.
Lad Peebles, or formerly at Lad Peebles.
Yep. Now they're at that new place.
Yeah. You been?
I went to one. What didn't feel the same?
No.
That's
a shame.
I do like the event. The Senior Bowl, of course, we're talking about. But
yep.
I guess now that they kind of did the Buffs dirty last year, but now that Nagy's out of there, maybe we can go back to being fans of the Senior Bowl, which needs a rebrand, by the way.
I mean, Galco, I think, built a lot of relationship capital this offseason, though, with Coach Prime. So, I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe the Colorado kids are now Shrine Bowl kids from now on.
Maybe the Shrine is about to take over.
Maybe.
That way.
It was, honestly, bro, the competition level wasn't that much different than what I was used to seeing at the Senior Bowl.
Nice.
So,
yeah, there's some dogs at the Shrine Bowl for sure.
Here's a name I just want to ask you guys about because I haven't heard a lot about him. But 247 has him ranked as the #1 available player in the portal, and it's come from a place that's had a nice little pipeline to Colorado through the transfer portal.
Oh, the USF kid,
Bernard Gooden.
Yes.
I haven't heard much about him, so I'm just curious if
I don't think I've heard the name.
Okay.
What position did you play?
He plays defensive line.
Mm.
He's listed at 6'1", 281. Last year, had 35 total tackles, 10 TFLs, 1.5 sacks, 2 passes defense, 2 fumble recoveries. At 281, I'd imagine he's more of an interior, but that's close to like tweener. Yeah, tweener territory.
Gee.
Let me see what he's listed at on their roster real quick.
Sold me at 10 TFLs.
Yeah.
From the interior,
So he originally started his career out at Wake Forest, transferred into USF in 2023. He is a senior. Yeah, 6'1", 280 is what he's listed at.
That's an interesting size. kind of uncommon, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're right. He's instantly become one of the best players in the portal with his announcement too. So
Call him up.
Got to get busy.
Jimmy can call him. Zay can call him.
Tawfiq.
Yeah, that's even better one because they were actually teammates.
Facts.
We got a new visit. Former Virginia Tech linebacker Jaden McDonald will be visiting. I think May 2nd was the date.
Next Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. So not this weekend, but the weekend after. Chris Hummer reported. This is another guy, interesting player. Converted safety into linebacker, listed at 6'4", 232 pounds. Hardly played last year. I don't know what happened, but he had an injury that only allowed him to play in 2 games. He started in 5 games the year before. Had 30 tackles, 1 PBU, 1 quarterback hit in that 2023 season. The Buffs have, I don't know, they've targeted kind of players like this. These athletic, linebacker / safeties. Of course, they tried to do that with Trevor Woods. They tried to do it with Gant with Carter. But like Cam and Shiloh were in the box all the time. Mm-hmm. Like they love putting the safeties down there, and so having these guys on the field is something that they think can really help them.
I feel like this specific position is hard to find, and then when you nail it, it's game changing.
Yes,
it is.
But for whatever reason, it's hard to find these guys who can move I guess it's not that hard to imagine, but move like a defensive back and play like a linebacker.
Yep.
But when a team has one, going back to even when Colorado had one, oh gosh, Davion Taylor.
Yeah.
He was so awesome at just manning the line of scrimmage and kind of taking away that east-west game that teams love to do, especially in college. When you have one of these guys who can fly around and then also hit like a linebacker, it makes those plays a lot harder to run.
Yep.
His versatility, I think, is just something that this staff has coveted in multiple guys on both sides of the ball. And obviously McDonald has some semblance of that. Obviously converting from a defensive back, now playing linebacker, at 6'4", 230. I would assume he still has a lot of that hip mobility, and kind of versatility, to be kind of moved in different spots, used in different spots on the field. And it just makes me think about something Coach Robert Livingston said, one of the best defensive coordinators in college football. He said a couple weeks ago, and something I never heard before, where he was talking about an amoeba defense.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he was talking about that with Carter? Mm-hmm. And I had never heard that before. So I had to go look it up because I know, what I'm saying?
It's when Coach the players are just moving around.
Exactly, where
around.
It's you can't tell when this person is on the field, they're in a pass situation or they're in a run, where it's amoeba, it's everything is kind of everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's everything.
It's like positionless defense in basketball.
Precisely. And I think Jaden McDonald would kind of fit that bill because, he has, again, the defensive back kind of background to play the pass. He racked up 50 tackles in just 2 seasons of playing. So obviously he's an impactful guy in the run game as well. So I just feel they just want versatility. I feel like they have guys who they probably feel comfortable with, stopping the run, defending the run. But they might want to add more versatility and just more options on third down in long kind of down situations, I would assume.
Let's take our first break. Talking about the portal, it's a perfect time to, sign up with our friends over at FanStake. Tyler Steen just visited this last weekend. He's got a few other visits scheduled, but if you want to help Blake Steen. I'm sorry, yes. Did I say Tyler again?
Yeah.
Blake Steen from Virginia. If you want to make sure that he is a target for the Buffs and even has a little incentive to join the Buffs, hit up our fans over at FanStake. If you sign up with the promo code DNVR, you're basically just going to get $25 to put on a player. No credit card required, so it's risk-free. Even if you put money on a player and they don't commit to your team, that money comes back into your pocket to put onto another player. Sign up. Again, they're currently offering new fans a free $25 credit. No credit card required or strings attached. We're encouraging everyone to join us in staking Tyler Steen to help shore up the Buffs' offensive line. Click the link in our description, scan the QR code, or just head to fanstake.com and use promo code DNVR to help get Tyler Steen on the Buffs. Did I say Blake Steen? Jesus.
Blake Steen.
You're trying.
I'm sorry, bro.
Just like we're all trying to live healthier lifestyles. And the DNVR Buff Show is brought to you by UC Health, the official healthcare partner of the Colorado Buffaloes. I've crossed over the 80-day mark now. I believe it's going for
Congrats, bro. Let's
82
go.
today. When we got back from, what was it, Super Bowl. And I think I started it at Super Bowl because we were walking around so much there. But I said, I'm not going to miss a day till the wedding. Well, getting close now. And I'm not going to let it fail again. So you can create your own personal challenge for yourself and hold yourself to it. And live like there is a tomorrow by going to uchealth.org for more info on how to live like there is a tomorrow. UC Health, live extraordinary.
All right, so a couple wrapping up on the portal for today. Well, almost. Ben Boozie's entered the portal. He's headed out. So the Buffs, I don't think we mentioned a cornerback when we did that portal segment right there. But that's another cornerback who is headed out. Just looking at the portal right now, there's actually 2 4-star cornerbacks available at this point in time. One of them, though, maybe not the archetype that Colorado looks for, 5'10", 185. That's Jeremiah Wilson, another Houston cornerback. Emmanuel Carnley, though, is a 6'3", 184-pound cornerback from Miami of Florida.
6'3".
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, Ben Boozy is headed out. I'm pretty sure he was a walk-on. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and I think when you read it yesterday, you said Coach Prime actually said 3 corners.
Yeah, it's 3.
And they got 1 so far.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 more on the way.
Yep. I mean, getting Makari Vickers back would just be huge, too.
Yes, definitely.
No doubt.
So we'll see. And then the chat's talking about, everyone's been talking about it. Jay Gardenhire, he entered the portal after the spring game. I think there's just an error on 247.
Okay.
Because on his timeline thing, it said, entered the portal, committed to Colorado Buffaloes, in the same day.
Yeah.
Oh.
It didn't say withdraw, for one. And 2, it's gone now. They updated the page, just says he entered the portal.
For sure.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he is no longer with the team.
And this one was probably predictable after Phil Lodeholt left.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of those things, classic college football thing. I always felt like Jay Gardenhire was Phil Lodeholt kind of calling his shot on a guy. Is like, let me work with this guy. Let me see if I can get him right.
For sure.
He has all of the tools to be a really great offensive lineman. And so without that connection still existing, I feel like this was probably predictable.
I wish them boys nothing but the best. I talked to Ben before he arrived in Boulder, probably around, last winter. A really nice young kid. And this is somebody who had Power 4 offers, I'm saying, before he got into some off the field trouble and whatnot. And Coach Prime kind of looked out for him, kind of one of those guys from Florida, the Fort Myers area, I believe. And Ben was kind of coming on. We saw him a lot on the game on Saturday. And obviously a really young guy, still 4 years of eligibility. I think he'll land on his feet somewhere. And, Jay Gardenhire, again, this is a really crowded offensive line room that is getting added to every single portal cycle, every single high school cycle. And as you mentioned, he was really raw, but still has the measurables, 6'8", I think, 300, damn near 50-plus pounds. So wish them boys nothing but the best.
So earlier today, Tennessee Titans general manager Mike Borgonzi at a press conference said, "We've come to a consensus, the entire organization. The plan is to stay at the pick, and I guess you'll find out Thursday night who we pick." Of course, he's talking about the first overall pick. Cam Ward still, right?
I mean, Cam Ward is currently minus 20,000 to go
Is he
number
really?
1 overall. Yes. With that being said, until the pick is in and submitted, I will still be holding out hope that they draft Travis Hunter, number 1 overall. And I mean, there's not a lot of incentive to play games when you have the number 1 overall pick, unless you just thought it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's play games here and
sure.
watch everyone else scramble thinking what we're going to do. And, let the Browns get comfortable that they're going to get Travis Hunter. And then all of a sudden they're not getting him and they got to figure out in 10 minutes what they want to do.
Right.
That's the only way I could see that. It's not common, I don't think. I remember back in the day. Can they still do this? Back in the day, you used to be able to like start. Because it's slotted contracts. You used to be able to start negotiating.
Yeah,
The contract with the number 1 overall pick if you had number 1 overall. But I guess you don't have to do that anymore.
that was pre-rookie wage scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, it's almost positively going to be Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Which goes against what they were saying about generational players.
Yeah. What's the stat that blew your mind after the show yesterday?
What was it? I don't remember.
Cam Ward's fumbles.
Oh, yeah, like 46 career fumbles. That
Yeah.
did blow my mind.
Yep.
You still think he's going to be a bust?
Never said that.
Oh, okay.
But
Bad. Probably thinking of somebody else.
anyone who doesn't draft Shedeur Sanders will regret it. Stand by that.
I agree. With that being said, though,
We had Baldy on the Bronco show today, and Zach asked him about Shedeur, and he went on this thing about how, like, the Giants passed on Micah Parsons for Kadarius Toney and how disastrous that was. He's like, they're not going to pass on the Penn State guy. They're just going to take Abdul Carter. And the entire time he was saying that, I was like, this will also be disastrous for them,
yes.
in my opinion.
Baldy thinks the Giants are going to take Abdul.
Yep.
Well, with that, Peter Schrager reports today that the Cleveland Browns and New York Giants are fielding trade inquiries for their early picks in the NFL draft. We just talked yesterday about how the Browns, DJ said they were basically picking Travis at 2. Andrew Berry has glowingly spoke about Travis over the last few weeks.
Gushing
month
about that guy.
or so, yeah. And then the
You gotta
Giants.
chill with all this gushing talk.
All of it? What other?
You guys both said it yesterday, too.
I don't remember that. My bad.
The Giants,
gushing
and we talked about them and Shedeur yesterday, all those links. But you say Carter, but now it seems like they're at least interested in discussing a potential trade.
I don't think none of them trade back. I ain't gonna lie. I think this is just the pre-draft kind of noise and trying to see, what people might be willing to give up to trade up, I think. But Bears GM Ryan Poles said today, there was a quote that came out from him where he said that he believes this is going to be one of the wildest drafts in recent history. He thinks it's going to be a lot more movement than people expect. So I don't know if that has to do with the top 3 picks, but interesting to hear him say that because obviously he's tuned in, drafting at number 10 overall.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, better for Shedeur the further that he falls. But all these teams, people are going to be fired over this, in my opinion.
I agree.
There's also recent talk of like the Saints love Jackson Dart.
I was just trying to I saw a tweet from one of the main guys on the Saints beat today. He tweeted like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, it feels pretty safe to say that the Saints aren't going to take Shedeur at 9. And that's one of the most plugged in Saints guys. That was just a tweet from today. So I don't know what to make of that, but
This is what I was trying to get to, though. Do you think the Steelers or Saints or anyone else, Cleveland potentially, even if they take Travis, trying to go back up and get Shedeur?
bless you.
I have been thinking a lot about this. If the Shedeur fall is real, which I have such a hard time believing, the Broncos, which they never trade back, Sean Payton never trades back, but they are in such prime position, one spot ahead of the Steelers, to get a haul from someone, especially the Browns, if they actually like Shedeur, to keep him from going to a team in their division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this at this point. I think if he goes outside the top 3, I think it will be a team who's trading up that ends up getting him. Right. And it could be Cleveland because I believe they have the first or second pick of the second round.
Yeah.
So maybe if they can get inside like the top 20, I can maybe see that potentially happening. But again, I'm of the mindset if you're Cleveland, you'd be crazy to allow, and obviously you can't control everything, but you'd be crazy to allow Shedeur Sanders to be in your division when Joe Burrow is already in your division and Lamar Jackson is already in your division. That would be crazy.
Yep.
What about the Denver Broncos, though? Travis has said multiple times he would love to stay in Colorado so he doesn't have to leave.
Look, we've had this conversation on the show. We've had it upstairs. We think it would cost probably about 3 first-round picks to go to number 2.
Send him right now.
You're already getting 2 first-round picks with the pick.
Yes.
You're getting the number 1 wide receiver and the number 1 corner in the draft.
Yep.
So it's really only 1 additional, in my opinion. You can draft corner wide receiver with your first-round pick this year and wide receiver Travis Hunter with your first-round pick next year. And then you lose 1 more. Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I think that the Browns... Actually, I'm never going to say the sentence I was about to say. I was about to say the Browns are too smart to do that, but we're talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly.
So they might not be. They might not be too smart to pass on Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, it takes 2 to tango, right, with trades. And I'd be shocked if Cleveland, especially with how Andrew Berry was so effusive in his praise for Travis Hunter. Not gushing, but effusive in his praise for Travis Hunter. I'd be shocked if Andrew Berry greenlit a trade to allow somebody else to move up and select Travis Hunter.
I mean, I don't know. The Browns are in rough shape right now. They could use picks. I don't think they're in a position to really turn down a trade that gives them 3 first-round picks like that.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. It would be 32, 20, 32, and 32, but...
Yeah.
The Browns have the second most picks in this draft. They have 10. Only the Ravens and Niners have more in this draft. So I don't know if pick shortage is a problem that they have, but
No, but you can use a lot of those to get higher picks next year, too.
no, for sure.
We haven't heard one single thing connecting Shedeur to the Niners, but it all just makes so much sense to me.
Well, same thing with the Rams. That one's been loosely
There
connected.
Yeah, we've heard a couple rumblings.
But, man.
When the Niners, shockingly pick at, 11?
Do they?
Yeah.
Damn.
Or it's 11 or 12.
And I saw that, Brock Purdy showed up to
11. Jesus.
whatever they have, OTAs or whatever it was today. So, but he's in the middle of a massive contract negotiation.
And then we were saying maybe you trade Purdy to the Steelers if you're them.
Bro, I really didn't realize the Niners had the 11th pick, bro.
I know.
And they
And they
have
have all these picks.
They have the most picks in this
So
draft.
if they wanted Shedeur, they could potentially move up above New Orleans if
No
they thought
doubt.
he was going to go there. I don't know why it hasn't been talked about more, but that's also a Coach Prime city.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, yeah, especially with the Purdy situation just out there, right? Because he obviously wants a new deal, and they're obviously, hesitant to give him whatever he's looking for. And maybe Thursday's the night that all comes to a head. That'd be crazy, though.
It's going to get interesting these next 2 days.
Say Drake said Miami. I'm not going to acknowledge the first one. Miami as a great fit for Shedeur. That was the number 1 team I placed when we first did the where's the best fit. Shedeur with that receiving group
If they don't trade Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he's
Which,
probably getting
who
traded.
knows? He might be traded Thursday as well.
For sure.
Yeah. I think the Broncos could be in that mix.
I think that is kind of cool, though, that we genuinely, and not just us, but I think the whole world has no idea where Shedeur Sanders is going to go on Thursday night.
I don't think anyone knows after the first 2 picks, really.
Yeah,
It's going to be a fun draft.
it is.
I can't wait.
There's going to be
crazy.
some weird stuff, too. That
Yeah.
there always is a pick where we're like, who?
For
Yep.
sure.
And then Dre's like, oh, that's the guy out of Delaware.
All right, let's take our next break.
Shout out to the squad over at Empire today. Just like your favorite team needs a home court, home field, home ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire today can help you get it. That's what we got here at the DNVR bar, the Toyota Lounge specifically. We got our floors looking beautiful, and it's all really due to Empire today, man. Empire today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring literally every single day. We've all been overwhelmed at these big box stores that just have a bunch of just stuff and people who can't really help you do what you're trying to accomplish. But Empire today is not like those other big box stores. Empire today lives and breathes flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ball game with Empire. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. You can get precise measurements taken and have all your questions answered, so there are no surprises. With Empire today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day, because nobody likes to wait. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. DNVR listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DNVR. Yes, you heard that right. $350 discount with code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire today/DNVR for full details.
And also shout out to the homies over at Raising Cane's, man. Just elite. Not much more that needs to be said, honestly.
Agreed. Those
chicken fingers are some of the best in the game. The crinkle cut fries, the Texas toast, coleslaw. I get the extra Texas toast because I like to make a little sandwich.
A little Sammy.
And then, of course, most importantly, that secret sauce, man. I don't know what they put in that thing, but that's magic. Get your box combo today. Make your craveable dreams a reality at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
One love.
I'm starving right now. Raising Cane's sounds incredible.
I love Raising Cane's, man. So fire.
I'm having Steven
You
said.
gotta stop, bro.
I mean, I'm a big fan. What can I say?
Speak on how much he loves Raising Cane's.
What can I say?
I'm having Steven said, RK, admit that Vegas is a great landing spot for two.
It's not.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
not a chance.
No, all biases aside.
So, like, literally, though.
Well, you've got Brock Bowers. That's the only thing that you could say makes that a good situation.
And they just signed Geno to like a crazy extension too for like 3 years.
And just, you want to talk about history of developing quarterbacks? Find me one.
Yeah.
Derek Carr?
Yuck.
Does that get you going?
Derek Carr. Like Saints fans, how they feel about Derek Carr right now.
When's the last time they actually developed a quarterback?
Developed?
Yeah.
I don't think that's happened in my lifetime.
Not
bro.
in my lifetime,
Yeah.
yeah. Rich Gannon was the best one.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think
that's the,
happened in
like,
my lifetime.
And they got him in a trade, right? Or they signed him?
I think so. Yeah, I can't think
You're
of
older
one.
than me. You'd have to tell
There's
me
probably
after that,
some
bro.
like old school name that, like, if you heard it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Rich Gannon.
Well,
Just
older than that.
Jim Plunkett.
There you go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I obviously, wherever Shedeur lands, I have faith in him to make the best of the situation. But there's no way that I would say that Vegas is a especially good situation for him.
And I just can't really envision Pete Carroll and Shedeur vibing like that either. Could you imagine that?
I just can't imagine Pete Carroll trying to bring up a brand new quarterback in the league, basically, when
sure.
the man is, 75?
And he
like
literally
that?
got his guy.
Yes.
He got the guy he wanted in Geno Smith.
Yeah,
The guy
he's had a
familiar
relationship with him.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Joesph Williams real quick. Scotty, you wrote about him.
I did go check that out. Check out the latest on the DNVR.com and make sure you become a diehard, man. We got a sale running today, over 50% off of our diehard. You know, you get a free t-shirt, you get all the perks that come with it, access to all of our exclusive written content from Jake and I. So go make sure you do that. But to the latest on Joesph Williams today, I almost forgot when I was writing this story and it came back to me how highly sought after Joesph Williams was when he entered the transfer portal this offseason.
He committed to Utah initially, right?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He was committed to Utah. Had offers from your Michigan Wolverines, Ole Miss, a bunch of other places that I can't really think of right now. Ole Miss, USC, a handful of other spots. And like I said, he was committed to Utah and then flipped to Colorado like 4 days later.
Forgot about that. That makes me like him more.
100%. Like, that could have been somebody that Colorado could have been seeing this year, you know, as an opponent. But obviously he chose Colorado. And I think it had partly to do with the
You
quarterback
guys probably would have said
situation.
Utah was going undefeated if he was there.
I mean,
You never know, man.
For real, no.
You never know.
For real. But I think part of the reason Joesph ended up flipping in Colorado was because of the quarterback situation. I think 4 days prior to Joesph flipping from Utah to Colorado was when Caden Salter committed to Colorado, and obviously Julian Lewis was already in the fold. And, you know, on Saturday, well, let's just go back. I've talked about this before. He broke out at the end of his season, his true freshman season at Tulsa.
Yep.
3 straight 100-yard games in the month of November. He was the first player in Tulsa history to have that 3 straight 100-yard games. He finished, obviously, the year with 588 yards, which was the 6th most of any freshman in Division I football. You know, a couple of those guys were obviously, you know, the guy at Alabama, Jeremiah Smith at
Ryan
Ohio
Williams.
State. Yeah. I mean, elite company this young man was in for a guy in his first year of college football. And obviously the AAC Freshman of the Year. He was the first player in program history to do that as well. And obviously on Saturday, we saw how quickly he's been able to build a rapport with both Julian Lewis and Caden Salter. Nobody on Saturday had more catches than Joesph Williams did. Nobody on Saturday had more receiving yards than Joesph Williams did. Nobody on Saturday had more touchdowns than he did. And that's obviously throughout the whole spring showcase. He was credited with 4 catches, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Even Ryan Staub threw him a touchdown in 7-on-7. So all of these guys clearly have confidence in throwing to Joesph Williams. And obviously Caden was asked about him afterwards. Caden goes, as you can see from all the practice clips that we had throughout spring ball, Joesph most definitely has been one of the top targets for me and Juju whenever one of us are out there. He goes, he's going to be a special receiver for us this year, so he'll most definitely show the world and make a name for himself. So Joesph Williams, obviously it's kind of a bit of a crowded receiver room with, the Millers and Harge and now Sincere Brown and obviously the freshmen as well. But I don't know if he's going to start, but I will tell you that Joesph Williams is one of those ones, and he's going to be impactful and productive this year for sure.
Love it.
I'm going to let you guys get away with one per person putting fake reports in the chat before I
I got to stop doing that for real.
Alyssa has free reign over the ban button, so y'all just be careful in there.
Soon.
Don't piss her off. Yeah, man. He is a very exciting piece. He's obviously got a ways to go, too, which I think makes it even more exciting.
Still a young guy. 3 years of eligibility left, right?
Yeah, the raw potential is just obvious. And, we've seen over the last couple of years, if you go and make an impression in the Colorado spring game, chances are you're a decent player and you're going to be a factor in this offense. Obviously, Travis the first year, just going out and just showing us all like, okay, he is 100% the real deal. Last year, it was all LeJontay, right? Mm-hmm. This year, it might be Joesph Williams. So, super exciting stuff and is going to help out with either quarterback. He's working a lot with Caden, you said, but
sure.
And Staub, throw him the touchdown and all. But, this is a guy that Julian can grow with over the next 3 years. So
exactly,
it's exciting.
It is for sure.
He's gonna make some highlight reel plays.
I'll just never forget touchdown catch he had last year where against East Carolina late in the year. A deep bomb goes up and just elevates like the definition of a moss. Like would have made you got mossed on, ESPN on a Sunday night or whatnot. So his just ability to elevate and make plays, deep down the field, leaping over guys damn near sometimes. He's just an explosive weapon, and I can't wait to see him continue to kind of develop in what he's capable of here in 2025.
He's got to have a crazy vert.
For real. 6'2", too. Like, what you want? 6'2", 200 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the size you want in a receiver like that.
Yeah. It's kind of the superstar size right now in the NFL.
Swear.
Maybe a little lighter. Not really, though.
Yeah. It's
probably right around what Justin Jefferson's listed at.
For sure.
All right, get your questions in the chat now. We'll get to them here in about 5 minutes or so.
Chat
you ready
speed.
for the first trade in college football history?
After I look up Justin Jefferson's size. 6'1", 195.
So we talked a lot about Nico Iamaleava, right?
Yes.
He entered the portal. He goes to UCLA. By the way, crazy. Now his brother enters the portal.
He's coming back.
Huh?
His brother's coming back to UCLA.
He never was there.
He was at
He was committed to there for the entire
Oh wait, you're right.
cycle.
I think, and then he went to Arkansas or something.
Signing day flipped to Arkansas.
And yeah, so he's going back to UCLA.
Well, is he also a quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's their quarterback room.
What are we?
Nico and Lil Bro.
Because
But aren't they pretty close in age?
they'd be 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 years.
Well,
You don't have to worry about a guy being pissed that he's not playing when it's his older brother player.
Facts.
true.
Speaking of piss that they're not playing.
He said to do that his whole life, basically. Anyways, so UCLA, before this whole thing went down, they brought in Joey Aguilar out of App State to be their quarterback. So obviously they're interested in Nico. He re-enters the portal, right? I think he just entered or joined UCLA ahead of the first portal window. Guess where he's going now? Tennessee. The first trade in college football history.
This is a reach.
How is this a reach?
to reach from you.
Tennessee's getting cap relief. They don't have to spend $4 or $4 million against the whatever now, and now UCLA gets an even more talented quarterback than they had last.
Fair enough.
By the way, Nico's still a 5-star transfer according to 247.
Should be. I think he should be.
Yeah, I was a lot higher on Nico until you guys read me his stats from last year.
I mean, I was just really high on Nico going into this past season.
Yeah.
And obviously he did what he did. But I mean, he's still a relatively young guy. I believe in Nico. I think, if they can build around him at UCLA, I think he'll be fine there. And I like their head coach as well. But I mean, yeah, I think trades this should just happen more. Like,
I was gonna say, when does it happen? When do we're already bringing in like a revenue sharing cap, which is already gonna be effectively your salary cap. We're talking about putting players under contracts.
Exactly.
Eventually, you're gonna be able to just trade them.
It should have low key worked with Virginia, right? When Coach Prime got wind of them offering Isaiah Augusta, whatever they offered, Coach Prime should have called the Virginia head coach like, "Hey, I know you want my boy. Send me Blake Steen, and I'll send you Isaiah Augusta, and we
That's
good."
up to the kid.
But I mean, if there's mutual interest, I feel like that could work. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that'd be dope.
Here's what's going to happen, though, is eventually there will be contracts.
Yeah.
And this is where trades could happen. I think that the contract should have buyouts. And so if you want to try and come get this kid while he's under contract with me, you're going to have to essentially make a donation to our NIL fund.
Yeah,
I
sure.
like that.
There could be a situation where it's like, hey, we're trying to get this guy, you're trying to get that guy. Let's just cancel out the buyouts.
For sure.
And we'll let them go.
I mean, so that's kind of what happened here, though. Like, Tennessee obviously didn't want to pay Nico $4 million. Apparently,
Is that really what it is, though? I think that they didn't want to be held hostage.
I mean, yeah, of course, but they also didn't want to go. You're not worth the $4 million. We're just not going to play ball.
See, I think a starting quarterback that you believe is a good one in the SEC, you can't really put a price on. I just think that they didn't like the games that were being played, and they were being essentially ragdolled around, being like, we have all the leverage, you have none. We can say whatever we want. You have to meet it.
For sure.
So I think it was less about the money, more about the principle. But regardless.
Either way, they're only paying Joey Aguilar what his deal was basically at UCLA, which is about $1.2 million. So either way, even if Nico didn't come to them and asking for more money, they're already paying less than they would have this year for a quarterback.
Yeah, but what happens when they go 6-6?
I was gonna say, you get what you pay for, though.
Yeah.
All right.
But Nico didn't even want to be there. Like, you needed something.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's just, in my opinion, everyone lost. Everyone lost in this situation.
Tennessee lost a great quarterback that they were invested in for 3 years at that point, paying him when he was already in high school. And yeah, Nico took a step down. I mean, Tennessee to UCLA in football, that's a step down.
It is.
The way things have gone
And you're
recently.
with Josh Heupel.
Exactly.
And now you're with
Sean Foster.
Yeah, but
OC?
who's their quarterback guy?
Right, yeah,
Who's
I
their
don't
OC? Like
It's Tino Sunseri,
Okay.
who is actually recruiting Julian to go to Indiana.
And don't they have a pass, Nico and Sinceri? Somehow? I think I might have saw
what?
that. Like a pass together, like they have a history together?
Who?
Nico and Sinceri.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Anyways, everyone lost. Even the Joey Aguilar.
He's going to go play in the SEC now.
I know, but he missed all of spring with his new team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. I was going to say he might be a winner, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, in the end, yes, potentially. But right
goes
now,
there and
he's
balls,
behind the
yeah.
8 ball, and he got to go learn a whole new offense in the fall.
I mean, Tennessee could just give the biggest middle finger to Nico and that family for what they put him through. If Joey Aguilar goes out and just shoot, even if he matches Nico's stats from last year, which weren't even that great.
And I think he will, honestly. He was really good at App State.
Yeah.
At least productive. It's not like I was watching a bunch of App State games, but he was really productive. And again, teaming up with Heupel, like it's a good situation to be in. And they're going to have receivers. They're going to have running backs to throw to.
Yep.
There you go. Let's take our next break. Shout out to our friends over at Toyota. You want to tell people about your Toyota?
Best in the biz. What else could I say? I love my Toyota. I love all the features. What feature should I talk about today? Today, I'm going to talk about the smooth ride.
elite.
Like I've said before, I've owned 2 other full-time cars in my life, and none of them have the smooth ride that my Toyota has. Just feels like it's just gliding across the asphalt, not, succumb to the dips and the potholes, just right over it. It's a beautiful thing. And Toyotas are just unbelievable machines that just live and run and run and run. And you can just ask anyone who has a Toyota how long theirs lasted if they rode it to the end. So hit up our friends over at Toyota and check out a Front Range Toyota store near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota and Boulder Groove Toyota and Littleton, Mountain States Toyota and Denver, Stevenson Toyota, Easton Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, official partner of the Colorado Buffaloes and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
And shout out to the ball knowers out there. If you want to test your knowledge and earn a little extra cash at the DNVR locker, now's your opportunity with the ball knower bonus. Here's how it works. First, you're going to make your pick. What you're doing is picking between 2 options. Travis Hunter, first or second overall pick, or third or later. If you are right on your pick, all you got to do is place an order on the ALLCITY merch store. 25 plus is the minimum. If you pick correctly, then you get a gift card to the merch store for the same amount as your original order. We got tons of Travis Heisman stuff still on there. Just a bunch of Colorado merch and much more to come. So just make sure you're ready. Pick up an order now, cash in on the ball knower bonus, and you'll be able to pick up all the latest and greatest from the ALLCITY merch store. So again, for all ball knowers, make your pick, then place an order. If you pick correctly, you're going to get a gift card from us for the same amount as your order. That's the ball knower bonus from DNVR.
Shout out the ball knowers and shout out to King Mars for that pause, because I don't know, that comment from Reef is crazy, dog. You wildin', broski.
He's always coming at your head.
You gonna double down on that foolishness, bro.
Crazy.
You worried about the wrong thing, my guy.
Barbecue Elementary says, anybody know what's happening at Folsom today? Looks like construction on the south side, Colorado Hill.
If I were to guess, maybe a repavement based on the available knowledge.
No idea.
I have no idea.
Repavement. Who knows? If they take it out, I'm going to crash out.
What if they put more seats, though?
I'm going to crash out.
Have his demon ass.
I let, the turf versus grass thing, I'm not as adamant as others, but that would be a crash out for me.
Heaven's Demon asked me if I've ever ate at Jim's Original. I don't think so. Is Jim's Original a hot dog joint? I'm Heaven's Demon. I think it might be. But I haven't eaten there. And if it is hot dogs, which I think it is, that's probably why, because I hate hot dogs.
Man.
Hate hot dogs.
Jim's Original.
Hate hot dogs.
It is a hot dog shop of sorts. The original Polish sausage stand from Maxwell and Halstead Streets.
Yeah. I've definitely heard of it, but yeah, I've never had it because, like I said, I hate hot dogs.
Well, the Polish sausage isn't a hot dog.
I like Polish sausage
Okay.
and Italian sausage.
Got to pull up.
But yeah.
1250 South Union Ave.
Okay. Okay.
Little Italy.
What's your go-to at GM's? I'm Seven's Demon. Let me know something.
Food in Chicago is so good. Best food city in the world. But not the world. I haven't been to enough places to say that. Best food city in America.
Best food city in the world. And just the best city in the world, period.
Big Fish Bucket asked, what's the deal with Micah Hudson going back to Tech? I wish I could tell you. He's still in the portal, though. So we'll see.
Tech's off for welcoming him back.
I feel
do they
very
want him back,
similarly.
I mean, I don't think he gets to this point where he's being crystal balled and whatnot if they didn't.
I mean, I feel like it's a pretty easy thing to go back, and he
They
hasn't
were
done it.
that coaching staff was heavily criticized for losing him. So
For
they
sure.
might be able to save face a little bit if they bring him back and he's productive.
Hey, y'all is wild, man.
King Carlito says, I feel like the defense as a whole is faster than last year. What are y'all's thoughts?
I have to see a lot more before I
I mean,
say
yeah,
that.
basing it off of Saturday, I think I can't do. One, you're without Travis. Two, you're without one of your fastest players in Colton Hood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. To be determined.
Linebackers might be faster.
For sure.
Carter's fast.
Yeah.
Cam asks if Juju's going to work with Select QB. He already has. And,
Yeah, he has
is.
worked a little bit. By the way, apparently Jim's is open 24/7. My kind of place.
Swear.
Atlanta Stay Focused Inform says, what will CU's record in the Big 12 this season be? Undefeated.
Let's go.
I don't know.
I'll make that projection on our last show before the season starts.
Same.
Need as much information as possible.
Swear.
Same.
We don't even know who the quarterback is.
For real. All right, we got super chats. Devin, RK, AJ from Houston has issues tackling in space. Christian Charles from Tennessee would be better. Devin again. Okay.
Boy, Braxton had been diving into the film, it sounded like.
Devin says Virginia Tech linebacker would be a bad pickup. And then also Tayon Parks, old teammate Mark Cannon Jr. is a 6'3 dog. We need to get in the portal. He's better than Tayon Parks.
Okay.
Thanks, Devin.
I wonder where they were teammates at.
Stay tuned.
High school?
No,
Illinois State.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking of... I thought Cannon was at Houston for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
No. What's up, Wayne? He says FDP is the MVP as I'm the only person mustache RK's ever threatened with the band hammer when I said he looked like a Husker. Thank you to whoever joining me in the band hammer warning area, LMAO.
What does that mean?
What?
All of that.
Well, last year in June,
Yeah.
I was going to a golf tournament. I had to shave my beard into a mustache
Oh, okay.
as part of the entry into the tournament.
All right.
And we were all making, fun, lighthearted jokes about what Jake and I looked like because Jake just joined me in solidarity.
What a guy. What a friend.
Truly. And then Wayne took it way too far.
I could tell when you were like, yeah, we're all just making lighthearted jokes. I could tell that.
So I looked like a Nebraska fan, which is just unacceptable.
Crazy.
Wayne do be cutting up, man. We might have to send bro in timeout sometime. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, Wayne gets special access. VIP Wayne.
VIP Wayne.
VIP Wayne.
We did all the other ones.
Not from
already.
me.
We did all the other ones already.
Still on my.
Could you go to the full chat though, real quick? Because I feel like people were cutting up. But yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, Lord.
What?
Am I looking for something?
Yeah, can you just keep scrolling that way that you're going, please? Thank
Just
you so
these
much.
guys are crazy.
Okay, see, Donnie C says that's not Chicago not knowing about Jim's or Maxwell's. Maxwell's was never mentioned. Maxwell's is right by the crib, and I love Maxwell's.
Also, someone said you were just in New Orleans. I love the food in New Orleans. It's a whole step below Chicago, in my opinion.
For sure.
Oh, man, you guys are something. Last minute super chat
Special
from
access is
Shy Buff says, shout out Tony's on 71st and Pulaski.
Okay, bet. I mean, I grew up pretty much right off 82nd and Pulaski, so that's pretty close to the crib.
Best quick spot I had in Chicago was called Johnny's Beef with an IE, kind of out by the airport, not Midway, the other one.
For sure.
What's the other one called?
O'Hare?
O'Hare.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, man, our boy RC was out in Chicago. Put that boy on Harold's. Changed my boy life.
It's probably the most extravagant thing he's ate in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I had to put my boy on. I was honestly shocked that he even liked it. You know what I'm saying? I thought for sure
What'd you tell him to
he was
get?
going to piss me off. I just told him to get
Chicken.
5-piece wing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mild sauce, lemon pepper, fried hard. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised you didn't pick the skin or something off of it. Or...
Probably thought the lemon pepper was spicy.
I need ranch.
Gee, if you would have added ranch, I would have been so pissed off.
Do we know for a fact that he didn't?
We don't. That's why I'm like, actually, I didn't see him eat it, so I don't know what he actually did, but he said he liked it, so that's all I can ask for.
Maybe the worst thing that you could be traveling with us is a picky eater.
Yeah.
You're just going to get picked apart.
Yep. Last minute super chat from Lawrence says Emmanuel Acho is a cornball. To the players leaving CU, I wish them well. Will this be the summer schedule? One, yes, this will be the summer schedule. We'll be live at 1 pretty much every day. Thursday and Saturday we'll have evening shows for the draft. Second, I don't know what Emmanuel Acho said, so
it's funny. I've seen some wild quote tweets of him like going after whatever he said. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, I don't even have the energy to click on the thing that everyone's mad about.
Yep, same.
I mean, I wasn't never clicking on nothing Emmanuel Acho was talking about.
100%.
So I'm definitely not now. Let's be for real. Yeah, Miss Knight, she knows what's up. Mild sauce. You ain't never had no mild sauce or some chicken, man. Get some mild sauce.
Explain this again?
To anyone who doesn't know what that is, it just sounds like the lamest thing.
Yeah, explain this again, because it's not just like mild buffalo sauce, right?
Oh no, it's not buffalo sauce
It's
at all.
mostly like barbecue
It's like
sauce.
I mean, it's like a sweet barbecue sauce, but it's a Harold staple. It's a Chicago staple. It's just so good. It's like, just imagine like just sweeter barbecue sauce, but the best barbecue sauce you could possibly read.
You ever go to this isn't a Chicago place, but Nando's?
I've had it one time and I was in the UK.
Okay, well yeah, that's where it
Yeah.
originates from. They
Yeah.
have one in Chicago,
I didn't know that.
West Loop.
Okay. It was fire though when I had it out there.
Good.
So good, bro.
All right, we're going to head out. We'll be back tomorrow. We are 2 days away from the NFL draft. I'm excited. I cannot wait.
I can't either.
See you tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.